Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super not funny show reviews. And today I'm reviewing Anne Rice's Mayfair Witches, new show coming to you from AMC, streaming on AMC Plus. So, what did I think about it? And should you be watching? Before we get into the review, get down there, hit the like button on this video. Well, AMC is going all in on Anne Rice. My understanding is they've bought the whole catalog for Anne Rice's, they call it the Immortal Universe. We saw the Interview with the Vampire, which was fantastic. And so now we're getting the second part of the Immortal Universe, and that is the Mayfair Witches, based on the trilogy of books about, as you can imagine, some witches. It all takes place in New Orleans. And so the first one's based on the Witching Hour book, and it stars Rowan Mayfair. She's trying to find out about her past, separated from the big Mayfair family that you heard about briefly mentioned in Interview with the Vampire. So it's a long intro to talk about this show. It's supernatural. It's Anne Rice. It's adjacent to the Vampire Chronicles. It's all about, the family that has this, this spirit that's connected to the family. Could it be a demon? Could it be a ghost, an ancestor? Who knows? And that there's some, organization that the Talamasca that is watching them. And all in this is you have Rowan Mayfair, who is estranged and is now in a position to learn about a dangerous power that she has that could hurt other people. That's the setup. You can see that all in the trailer. And so I got a chance to sit down and look at it. And so my first impression is it's fine. It's fine. Like, to give you an understanding, I've read the 3 books that this is based on a long time ago, but I have read them. And so I had certain expectations for this, especially after watching what they did with Interview with the Vampire. So I had pretty high expectations, and I always hate going into things with high expectations because, you should approach these things as they are rather than what you wanted them to be. So this did not reach my high expectations. I consider this a solid starter for a show. If anything, actually, I really wish they had dropped 2 episodes instead of 1. If I could fault this first episode called The Witching Hour, for anything, it's for not hooking the viewer more than it did. Like, it's all quite interesting. It's Rowan Mayfair. She doesn't know she's a Mayfair, so she's out in on the West Coast, and she's a neurosurgeon and everything, and kind of her struggles, I guess, trying to be a female surgeon and kind of dealing with being sidelined because the person that's head of surgery is kind of a jackass. And her mother, her adopted mother, she knows she's adopted, black woman who adopted her. But she's, she wants the best for her, but she gets cancer, and now she's all concerned. And then in the midst of all this, Rowan sort of realizes she displays a power, kind of a mental power or what have you, that causes aneurysms. First in her boss, that kind of given her the business for a stupid thing that he almost did, that almost killed a patient. And then later on, kind of this toxic tech bro that wants to hire her, but is clearly also sort of setting her up for sexual harassment and that sort of thing, to sexually harass her and all that sort of thing. And also dangling, a potential cancer cure for her mother in front of her. And it's, you see all that happen, but much of the episode is it jumps between two stories. One's about Rowan in the present day, as she sort of losing her, her mom and her place in society, and that you realize, she's sort of a loner, and she's got some very specific, character traits that are not, they're a bit toxic. Let's just call it what it is. And on the other side, you see what we find out is her mother, who is one of the Mayfairs and grew up in New Orleans and everything, who also has this spirit that she calls Lasher. That is he benevolent? Is he malevolent? What's he gonna do? And you see how Rowan comes to to be essentially, and also how her mother comes to be sort of an invalid or that's sort of kept drugged up and everything. Uh, and it's all quite interesting. The problem, and they even introduced the Talamasca, who clearly know about this spirit, and they call him by name Lasher, and that she's Rowan has a case manager, and there's something they know something about her power, all that stuff. It's all quite interesting. The problem is it's not terribly vital. Like it's interesting in the sense like, oh, I want to know what's going to happen next, but there's nothing saying like, oh, I've got to come back and see what's happening. And that may just again be my expectations speaking, because again, I think it's a solid start. But they just don't really hook. The other thing is that this Spirit Lasher is, I will just say, a bit disappointing to me. I'm not really sure what I wanted or expected him to look like, but it wasn't this. There's nothing. There's nothing tall, dark, and handsome, or sensuous, or mysterious like at all. It's just a guy, just a dude that looks a certain way, and he's not even like he's not particularly compelling to me. And so I'm underwhelmed by Lasher, who's supposed to be one of the driving forces of this show and this story. I did like Harry Hamlin as Cortland Mayfair. He was I think he played it appropriately, but for the most part, you don't really see much of the other Mayfairs except that there are these old women who are very older women who are kind of domineering in a way and judgy. That's about it. Um, as so the New Orleans aspect is interesting, but and there you see there's a couple things happen that sort of are setting things in motion. But beyond that, there's even some weird directing in it. Like there's kind of a fever dream, drugged, situation, and it's shot in a way that's it's supposed to be disorienting and weird from a certain perspective, but it just feels like cheap TV to me. And also the CG is pretty bad. And I don't know if it's meant to be bad, but it's just not great. Uh, there's a scene where Lasher sort of changes his face, and it looks like something you could see on YouTube. So that part was very disappointing. So I mean, I like the story. I know where it's going and everything. I do like the story. I know they made some changes in it. That's all fine to me. I just wish this had been just a bit more vital, a bit more come back next week. Damn it, I wish there was another episode. That I want that feeling from shows like this, because this is a weekly show, and you should make me wish there was a new episode immediately. And this didn't quite do it. I'm still in. I'm in, but I need them to pick it up a little more. And also, and I hate to say this, I hope Alexandra Daddario, who is the main character, Rowan, I really hope she steps it up more too, because I wasn't impressed by what I saw from her in this episode. And I don't know if it's the material or what, but she only seemed to have a couple of expressions, and it's a very flat stare, or just like this wide-eyed, very wide-eyed, look of shock or something like that. And so I really want. She's the main character. I want more than that from her. But this overall, I think it's fine. And so hopefully it'll get better in the coming weeks. But anyway, what did you guys think about this episode? What did you think about what I had to say? Get down to the comment section. Leave your thoughts there. Of course, you can always hit me up. supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And also do me a favor, get down there and hit the like button on this video. Hit subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. It helps with the algorithm, helps grow this channel, helps more people to see these videos. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks for joining me. Come back next week. We're going to be reviewing the second episode of Interview with the Vampire. Till then, I've been Mole Poupée, your resident fabricant and comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.